Oh yeah, today I got another banger. I'm covering Fire Force Season 3, the first 7 episodes in one. Your boy really locked in. And I watched the latest episode, you already know it's a banger. So if y'all want more Fire Force hate, go crazy on that like button. And this season's opening intro is tough, a solid 10 out of 10. Fire Force do not miss. And quick sidebar, I've been watching a few new anime recently and they're heat, so expect to see new bangers. Now this is gonna be a long one, so grab your golden Oreos and pink lemonade. Them shits fire. Now on with the heat. So Captain Obi of Squad 8 has been captured by the White Clad, and Captain Burns converted over, now siding with the White Clad after Hamel used her talking head ability to infiltrate his thoughts, manipulating him based on their common objective, and speaks on his Adola link, which made him curious, so he asked what's their ultimate objective. So Hamel revealed that they plan on turning the world into a sun, just like how their current sun came into existence. Then starts mentioning God, which led Burns into getting persuaded as he envisioned her words as the words of God. So Squad 8 is getting ready to save their captain, and Shinra has an Adola link where he sees Captain Burns, who informs him that Captain Obi will receive an insect to turn him into an infernal. Meanwhile, Obi's behind bars at Fuchu prison. So Lich leads the gang to his partner Joker, who will be working with them in this operation, and Joker takes them to their secret base. Which after a bit of chatting, Shinra and Joker go on ahead to prevent the White Clad from turning Captain Obi into an infernal. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Go pulls up on Obi, which Obi tells her to let him out, so she tells him that she'll let him out only after he becomes an infernal. Meanwhile, Shinra and Joker makes it to Fuchu prison as Shinra caused an explosion to get everyone's attention. And with that, they both confront Burns, which Shinra's trying to talk some sense into bro, but nothing's getting through to him. So Burns snaps his fingers, having the White Clad bring up Obi, who is chained up ready for them to sacrifice. Now Shinra's heated, so he runs up the building trying to boom Burns, but Burns casually blocks Shinra's kick with his shoulder. He must have really wanted Shinra to know that he is not cut like that, which is kinda crazy cause Shinra was talking head like he's on the level of a captain. But look at him now. So Burns punches Shinra in the gut, so Joker got backdoor and got in the mix until Shinra pulled back up, so Burns like, nigga, get back. And that nigga Joker's a real dog cause he was still standing. Meanwhile, Burns aura forming, so Joker tells Shinra the longer they take, the stronger Burns will get. Shinra's worked up about the whole situation cause for the longest he looked up to Burns, but now he suddenly became fake. And panning on the other side of things, the gang makes their way over to save their captain. Now this has nothing to do with the battle, but goddamn, Princess Hibana is so fun, a solid 10 out of 10. But yeah, the gang finally steps on the scene, but Arthur was nowhere in sight. So they came to the conclusion that he fell off the truck on their way there. And Go wasted no time to get active, so Maki asks Lieutenant Hinawa who taking the front lines now that Shinra and Arthur isn't around. So he lets her know that it's up to the two of them, but Tamaki's like, nah gang, I got this, I'm flame resistant. So Maki tells Tamaki to be careful cause there's no telling if the enemy fights with flames. So Tamaki charges in, really in the mix, while Lieutenant Hinawa provides backup. And Tamaki was ready to hit Go with the Nekomaru, but Go got the reflecting the bullets Hinawa fired. So Maki sent them back, but that had no effect. So Go sends them back, but Maki gets shielded by Hinawa. So Go starts to charge an attack. Meanwhile, back at the rooftop, Burns is now at stage 2. Now back at the other side, Vulcan asks Lich if he figured out Go's ability, but he doesn't have a full analysis right now. So Vulcan has Tamaki the tool she asked him to make for her, and now the gang's back on the attack. Meanwhile, Lich is locked in analyzing Go, which he seems to have figured out her ability. So he tells Vulcan to tell Maki to stop attacking, and as Atekyo was heading towards Gold, Gold stops it in place, which Lich breaks down that Gold is creating a magnetic field using golden heat, and that Gold isn't affected by magnetism, so she sends heat energy that she generates through her gauntlet, creating a magnetic field that she can control. And with that, Gold takes control over the gang's weapons. So Vulcan tells Hinawa to not fire because that'll just give Gold more weapons. So they're now on the defensive, and Tamaki's moving with pure elegance, Taishi. And as Tamaki's in the air, she uses the tool she was handed by Vulcan that boosts firepower. Then we get hit with a flashback on the reason for why Tamaki asked Vulcan to create the tools, and after taking a trip down memory lane, Tamaki creates a giant Nekomaru fireball ready to boom some shit, so she tossed that hoe at Go like a spirit bomb. But damn, that had no effect, cause Shawty has high resistance to fire. So Go started piecing Tamaki up, and at this moment I was locked in on my screen wondering how Tamaki is gonna get out this predicament. Then suddenly I get hit with the most diabolical of angles. And I get it, she has Lucky Electrolord where she loses clothing at random times, but this angle is just crazy. Now it would have been a different story if it was Princess Hibana, but bro, this is a 17-year-old girl. Now I understand the age of consent in Japan is 16, so niggas be moving different down there, but this is abysmal. Crazy thing is, there's actually weirdos salivating over this licking the TV screen and shit. But yeah, now Vulcan, Hinawa, and Maki were stripped of their pants as well, but Hinawa is unfazed, he really have no shame. So it seems like the gang were out of options until Lisa pulled up to buy the gang some time. Meanwhile, Lich informed the gang on the way to bypass Gold's ability, so the squad started cooking up as they start to melt iron. But unfortunately, Gold adjusted to Lisa's ability, so Lisa starts to get overwhelmed. But the setup was now complete, so Tamaki pulled up, and with Gold being unable to attack, Tamaki hits Gold's gauntlet, rendering her useless. And with that, Lieutenant Hinawa boom Shawty in her dome. Now Stream stepped up ready to get active, and Tamaki still thinks she's invulnerable, steady talking about how she's impervious to flames, but little did she know, Stream is attacking with Air airflow from his flames, allowing him to attack using tornadoes and whirlwinds. And he tried to boom Hinawa, but suddenly gets intercepted by the dog himself, Arthur. But I'm not gonna lie, Hinawa was ready to dump that iron on bro. But yeah, this nigga Arthur pull up was a 10 out of 10. Stream started talking shit like he's like that, but Arthur silenced him in a heartbeat and stood there aura forming until his body dropped. Had that other nigga shook. And the gang wanted to know where the hell he been at, which he lets them know that he fell off the truck on the way here, which in his eyes is his horse. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, after Shinra and Burns did a whole lot of yapping, Burns tells the White Clad member to insert the bug into Obi. So the insect successfully made his way to Obi, so Shinra tried to pull up but got stopped by Burns. But that nigga Obi was really role-playing because he was perfectly fine because he resisted being pierced by the insect's bite due to having muscles of steel, due to the exercise he did while locked up. Bro even flexed his way out the chains. So the gang started cheering Obi on as he continues to flex. Meanwhile, Arthur was ready to pack up the other White Clad member until someone else pulled up, dropping from the building, arms folded, stiff as hell. And bro was chatting for a minute, but the moment Arthur heard bro call himself Dragon, Arthur was on go. But Dragon yelled, sending out a gust of wind which pushed back the gang except Arthur, who was standing on business. And with his Excalibur taking on a different form and him giving it the title of Dragon Slayer, Arthur pulls up slashing Dragon and started posing for the edit. But that had no effect. And Dragon hit Arthur so hard he damn near gave bro a spine deformation. And bro, I kid you not, this nigga Arthur did one of the most over-the-top landings I've ever seen. Bro done cut a piece of the building and rode on it before landing. Like that was so extra he really wanna be in an edit. Now Arthur's really locked in and got back in the mix, but Dragon's just too strong. Arthur out here giving it his all, but bro just standing there taking everything he throw at him like Cell did to Krillin and Trunks when he obtained his perfect form. But Arthur's gradually getting stronger as the battle goes on, but unfortunately his attacks are still ineffective. Even Hino tried to provide backup, but to no avail. And the whole time Arthur's been fighting trying to inflict damage on bro, he's been the one receiving damage. But suddenly Arthur finally manages to cut him. Now playtime is over because Dragon transformed his arm and knocked the sonic rings out of Arthur. Then transforms even further. And Arthur's back on his feet, not backing down for shit because he really got that dog in him. So Dragon exhales fire at Arthur, but Arthur blocks the attack and upgraded the drip with a plasma cape. And was ready to hit Dragon with Excalibur, but Dragon fully transformed, shattering Arthur's weapon and damaged his arm. And panning on the other side of things, Shinra's in the rush because there's no telling how long his captain can prevent the insect from biting him. So Shinra and Joker goes on the attack, but Burns didn't even bother to dodge, and instead he chose to remain stationary and guard against their attacks. So they got hit with a stage transition and Shinra's back on the attack. Now I'm not gonna lie, that spin move by Shinra was tough as hell. But Burns still blocking everything Shinra throws at him. So Burns swing on bro, but Shinra weave just to still get hit without bro having to make physical contact. Then we get hit with a flashback, but like fuck all that, back to the fade. So Burns was talking, low-key hyping Shinra up. Now bro's really moving, but Burns really not putting much effort. Shit really slight for bro. Meanwhile, Joker decided to light a cigarette and enjoy the fight. So Shinra started doing the most, like seriously, what's the point of spinning? And he goes in for a dynamic entry, but got flattened like a pancake, but recovered quick as hell. And kicked bro again, but added a little extra, but a little extra is just not enough. That man Shinra's no bitch though, he is not backing down. Then he started doing all these unnecessary flips just to get hit with the same treatment. But again, Shinra is not a bitch, he gonna keep spinning back. But he was getting a dog beat out of him, so Joker was about to interfere, but decided to chill cause this is lil bro's destiny. So Joker calls out for Shinra, and Shinra got the smiling and turned up on Burns, showing him he still got that dog in him. Now Shinra's in his mode, now having blue flames, while Burns is at stage 4. Shinra pulls up and they clash, which was a long struggle as they started chatting in the middle of it. But Shinra manages to knock Burns back, which Burns then power up to stage 5. And he shoved his fingers in Shinra's chest. But after an excessive amount of screaming and yapping, Shinra accelerated so fast that even the animators couldn't keep up, so them niggas had no color. And peep the impact frames. Fire Force is full of dope impact frames, it's only right to acknowledge them. But yeah, Shinra successfully lands the kick. But even after all that, Burns was still standing tall like a dog on some Whitebeard shit until he collapsed. So they got the chatting when suddenly Shinra has an Adola link, and as Shinra and Joker looks over at Burns in shock, they see a demon Inferno with its horn pierced right through Burns' chest, who happens to be a doppelganger. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Dragon fires a fire blast at the gang, which Maki blocked until she got overwhelmed. But after a quick frame of Iris praying, Maki manages to survive, successfully blocking the attack. Not gonna lie, seeing that makes me believe Iris manipulated fate, cause there has to be a reason for why Iris praying was a focus point at that time. Just a slight theory. Now more White Clad members stepped on the scene, and panning back on the other side of things, as Burns still impaled, Shinra tries to save him, but Joker's like, lock in, bro, remember why you came here, we don't know how long Obi will last. So Burns tells Joker that he leaves the rest to him and tells Shinra to run, so Joker carries him away, as Burns and the Inferno sink into the darkness. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, the White Clad was getting ready to attack, but Inka, using her ability, sees that the gang is going to survive. Then suddenly one of the White Clad members got boomed, and in the distance we see the big dog himself, Benimaru, standing on top of a pole, aura forming with that Piccolo ass pull-up, as he's in disguise going by the name Moonlight Mask, which has been hooked up by Conra, who hooked him up with the disguise and a catchphrase to use so that no one can be aware it's him. Bro must think he's full in Ash Ketchum in his gang, cause ain't no way you're gonna go unnoticed noticed with that weak ass disguise. And the funny thing is, as soon as he was about to state his undercover name again, Lieutenant Hinowa cuts him off, exposing bro calling Benimaru by his real name. So at this point, the jig is up. So Benny shoots flames, setting up a smoke screen and some toy to the gang to ride on so they can make their escape. And the White Clad thought they was Sneak Nation certified, but Benimaru is surrounded by heat within 4 meters of him that's under his control. Meanwhile, Obi's still flexing, preventing the insect from biting him. So Joker kills the insects for him. And Obi asks Shinra what happened to Burns, which Shinra lets him know that Burns has been packed up by a demon. And that Burns accepted every attack he threw at him. So the rest of the gang makes their escape. Meanwhile, Joker decides to stay back with his buddy Benny to cover his back to allow him to escape too. But Benny wanna stay back and have some fun because the opponents in front of him are strong. So Benny gets in the mix with them for a little bit before shining light upon them as him and Joker successfully makes their escape with Squad 8. And yeah, that was Fire Force Season 3 episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 in all its greatness. You already know these episodes are absolutely pure heat. A solid 10 out of 10 for me, cause Fire Force never miss. Now, with that being said, if you made it this far, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. We moving. Also, I'm taking recommendations, bro, so hit the comments. And more heat on the way.